Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fort Atkinson High School Auditorium and the 28th Annual Dessert Concert featuring grades 7 through 12. We ask at this time that any cell phones or noise-making devices be silenced so as not to disrupt the performance. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to you. As a reminder, the aisles must remain clear at all times throughout this afternoon's event. The dessert concert is not being live streamed, but will be available for playback on youtube.com, the links for which is available at the Fort Atkinson High School Theater Facebook page and also the fortschools.org homepage. With that, we'd like to welcome to the stage the 7th through 12th grade orchestra under the direction of Miss Erica Flight. This afternoon's Master of Ceremonies will be Mr. Nick Homling.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents, siblings, grandparents, and other distinguished guests, the orchestras of the School District of Fort Atkinson welcome you to the 28th Annual Dessert Concert. I am Nick Homling, and I am your MC for today's concert. I've been a science teacher here at the high school for a while, and I have 2 kids in orchestra this year, both on stage right now. The orchestra boosters and the orchestra directors are so glad all of you could be here today to support these fine young musicians. The students have all been working very hard to put on a great show, and we know you will enjoy the fun variety of music we have prepared. Thank you all so much for coming today. We are thrilled to see such a large audience and appreciate your support. In consideration of our young musicians, please silence cell phones and other electronic devices. If you need to exit, please only do so in between pieces. We appreciate your attention, and the students love your applause. It is exciting to see how much the orchestra program has grown. Earlier this afternoon, we had an awesome concert featuring the 5th and 6th grade orchestras. And now you're about to experience some exciting performances by the 7th through 12th grade students. We are overjoyed that we have so many students participating in orchestra that we cannot fit all the 5th through 12th graders on stage together, and we hope you enjoy this split concert experience. We'd like to begin by introducing the musicians to you. 7th graders, wave hello. 8th graders, wave hello. High school musicians, wave hello. And a special shout out to Dane Zabronic, who plays viola, not cello, as listed in the program. Hi, Dane. And say hello to Mrs. Flight and our accompanimists, Ms. Pratt and Mr. Athos. Our theme this afternoon is rock, folk, and fiddle, a theme inspired by our fantastic guest artists this year, the Madpolecats. Today you will hear many alternative styles of music, branching out from the typical classical sound you often hear in orchestra performances. We'll talk about the Madpolecats in more detail later on, but first, without further ado, we will begin the combined 7th, 12th grade orchestras with Stephanie Mode and Gabe Lewis on percussion, performing a familiar favorite made famous by the band Smash Mouth and featured in the motion picture Shrek, All-Star. are up next. They play a unique blend of music created by fusing traditional bluegrass instruments with reggae, ska, and punk influences, which has morphed into a new genre of music they like to call rastabilly, or skunkgrass. On stage today is Jesse Kefkansky on lead vocals and banjo, Angela Martin Lakari on fiddle, Jason Olson on bass, and Justin Olson on the washboard. I'm going to turn it over to the Madpolecats for the first piece. Pick it up, one more time now.
Possessions never meant anything to me. I'm not crazy, but that's not true. I've got a bed, an old guitar, and a dope made by the kittens on my floor. That's right, I've got a floor. So what? So what? So what? Well, I've got pockets full of Kleenex and linen holes where everything poured into me just seemed to fall right down my leg and onto the floor. My closest friend, linoleum, supports my head, gives me something to believe. That's me on the beach side, combing the sand, metal meter in my hand, sporting a pocket full of change. That's me on the street with the violin under my chin, playing with a friend, singing Johnny Cash. That's me on the back of the bus, that's me in the cell, that's me inside your head. That's me inside your head. That's me inside your head. That's me inside your head.
The 7th and 8th grade combined orchestras will now perform Ghost, Riders in the Sky, a cowboy legend. This cowboy style country western song was written in 1948 and has been chosen by the Western Writers of America as one of the top 100 western songs of all time. The song tells a folk tale of a cowboy who has a vision of red-eyed, steel-hoofed cattle thundering across the sky, being chased by the spirits of condemned cowboys. One warns him that if he does not change his ways, he will be doomed to join them forever, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. The orchestra students truly bring this story to life in their music. Enjoy. perform Big River, written by Johnny Cash, who, by the way, is also known for his own rendition of Ghost, Riders in the Sky.
Hello, we're the Madpolecats.
1, 2, 3.
Now I told the weeping willow how to cry, and I showed the clouds on cover of a clear blue sky. For the tears that I got for that woman that wanna flood you big a river, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Now I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota, and that tore me up every time I heard her draw, southern drawl. Then I found my dream, went back downstream, cavorting in Davenport, and I followed you, Big River, when you called. Well, I followed her to St. Louis, later on down the river. Fred said she's been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. Then I found a trail to Memphis, but she just walked up the block. She raised a few eyebrows and then she went on down the road. Take us down there, Rangy girl. Take it rock steady now. Going back down by that road, River Queen, rolling on. Take the woman on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go on, I've had enough, done my blues down in the floor. But she loves you, Big River, more than me. Now I taught the weeping widow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds out of cover of a clear blue sky. But the tears that I cried for that woman are gonna flood you, Big River, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Said I'm gonna sit right here until I die.
The 8th grade orchestra has worked hard to learn Radioactive, a song by the American rock band Imagine Dragons. The piece is a great example of alternative style music. It is a combination of electronic rock and alternative rock with elements of dubstep. Released in 2012, Radioactive received 2 Grammy Award nominations for Record of the Year and Best Rock Performance, winning the later. This orchestral arrangement is a very technical and challenging, and the 8th graders have pushed themselves to play with high levels of musical depth and expression. Here's Radioactive. Now you will hear the Madpolecats perform George Gershwin's Summertime.
Summertime, if the living is easy, and the fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, pretty darling, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings in the distant skies. But until that morning, but there's nothing can harm you with mommy and daddy standing by. Summertime, and the living is easy, and the fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, pretty darling, don't you cry. Now say, hush, pretty darling, don't you cry. Say, hush, pretty darling, don't you cry.
The high school orchestra is excited to present Bohemian Rhapsody, made famous by the British rock band Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody was written by Freddie Mercury for the band's 1975 album, A Night at the Opera. It is a 6-minute suite consisting of several sections without a chorus. An intro, a ballad segment, an operatic passage, a hard rock part, and a reflective coda. The song is a more accessible take on the 1970s progressive rock genre. Some interesting trivia is that Bohemian Rhapsody was reportedly the most expensive single ever made at the time of its release. Joined by Devin Riggs and Courtney Olson on percussion, please welcome the high school orchestra students. next tune is Dark Days Indeed, written by Todd Ashley.
I was born to shame the dawn. I saw the angels cry. Raised my arms and made the stars tremble in the sky. And when I sang, choirs were humbled. When I danced, the mountains crumbled. I chased the waves right back into the sea. Feasted on the fatted calf, and I drank whole cities dry. Made the devil dance with me, then I spat into his eye. And so long, Jack, we hardly knew ya. Here's to hell and hallelujah. Take this rock and shake it till it bleeds. 'Cause these are dark days and day, light, die, die, 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 light, die, die. Put this cup of life into our hands. But when we go, our bones will wake upon the burning sands. For we walk but once among the living, so no regrets and no forgiving. It's hard to dance when you're down upon your knees. 'Cause these are dark days and days, light, die, die, 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 light, die, die.
Have worked hard to prepare a difficult piece that will feature our guest violinist from the Madpolecats, Angela. Students have enjoyed rehearsing at school with Angela and learning about Celtic music styles. Celtic Roots finds its inspiration in the rich culture and history of England and Scotland, where Celtic music is prominent. The orchestra will begin with a mysterious ancient chant, transitioning into a jovial jig, and ending with a lively reel. Please welcome the high school orchestra and Angela Akari performing Celtic Roots.
When
you guys can see it from where you're sitting, but where I'm sitting, and I noticed it in the last concert too, when Angela gets going on that violin, it looks like your strings are on fire. They're smoking with the rosin coming off. It's pretty amazing. For their final tune, the Madpolecats will perform Northern Wisconsin, written by Bobby Evans and the Madpolecats.
Has anyone seen our fiddle player? She's scrambling. She got to take her shoes off to play the fiddle.
I'm getting too old for this.
Oh, you're in your prime, sugar. We want to thank you all so much for hosting such an amazing event. This is fantastic hearing all the kids, both concerts today. Put your hands together for all these kids who worked so hard. This is our Wisconsin pride song. It's called Northern Wisconsin. Pick it up, hey! Cold wind from Canada blows across my front door. Here come all this way just to freeze me. You know the weather turns so cold here when winds blow near, but the snow that it brings sure does please me. 'Cause the world turns forgotten in northern Wisconsin. Just you and the fire and the sound of the wind. And when it gets done blowing, it always starts snowing, and the world turns to quiet. All quiet again. Once spent a winter away from Wisconsin, trucking down south where the wind is so wild. When the spring came, Lord, I didn't feel rested, like when I'd been sleeping when I was a child. 'Cause the world turns forgotten in northern Wisconsin. Just you and the fire and the sound of the wind. And when it gets done blowing, it always starts snowing. World turns to quiet, all quiet again. The wind in the pines is a song lullaby, and the woods and the world are already sleeping. Well, there's a full moon in a cold sky, and I'm through asking Lord why. Found me a home, and I'm staying, because the world turns forgotten in northern Wisconsin. Just you and the fire and the sound of the wind. And when it gets done blowing, it always starts snowing, and the world turns to quiet, all quiet again.
announced. First, thank you to all of the members of the Orchestra Boosters Board who helped plan and coordinate this event. Special thanks need to go out to Andrea Halfelder and Ann Dutzer, our dessert concert overseers, and Trish Kapelke, our volunteer coordinator. To John Collins and the auditorium crew, to all the parents who volunteered in order to make today's concert run smoothly, to the families that so generously donated much appreciated funds to the orchestra program this year. We were able to purchase new table centerpieces to use at all our future dessert concerts, which are currently on display in the Commons area. Thank you so much for your generosity. A big thank you and special round of applause to our guest artists this year, the Madpolecats. You can purchase band CDs and other items out in the Commons after the concert. And by the way, Angela teaches private lessons. If you're interested in more information, email Ms. Flight. And last but not least, thank you to the 7th through 12th grade orchestra students for all of their hard work so far this year. And some final announcements. At the conclusion of today's concert, please enjoy any remaining cheesecake, cookies, and punch for purchase in the Commons area. If you're able to assist with cleanup activities in the Commons, or to help us take all the chairs and stands off the stage, we'd gladly welcome your help. Now, we have come to our grand finale, which you will surely recognize, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, an American rock band that formed in San Francisco in 1973. Don't Stop Believin' became a #9 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 on its original release. It was also the best-selling rock song in digital history until it was overtaken by Imagine Dragons' Radioactive in 2015. This orchestral arrangement is difficult, exciting, and very catchy. Joining the orchestra will be Devin Riggs on drum set, Logan Homley on electric bass, and the Madpolecats. On behalf of Mrs. Flight, as well as the 7th to 12th grade orchestra students, I thank you all very much for coming to this great celebration of our students' accomplishments in the Fort Atkinson Orchestra program. And now, don't stop believing.